So Ashe and Grand Rising, a grand day to you all once again, my fellow humans. And welcome to this, the extension of episode 12, namely episode 12.1, in the series of Another Perspective on Healthy Living with your Senior Lifestyle Advisor Plus, yes, I, the Mystic Philosopher. So at the end of episode 11, I said this, and I quote, again I'll quote, "And to the best of my current knowledge and recollection, the only trans and the only form of trans, as in transition and transformation, etc., that my most honorable ancestors, along with all the other righteous mystics, ancient spiritual leaders, healers, teachers, and spiritual practitioners, talked about, practiced, and recommend for healing, and the only trance that I see recorded in the Adamic Race History and Holy Book, also known as the Christian Holy Bible, the only trance I see for healing is not a trance physical or a trance matter or a trance mass. And now I would like to add to that list of trans, it is not transhuman or transhumanism. It is not transmutation, as in alchemy. It is not transition, as in dying. It is not transfiguration or transmutation. It is not transfiguration, etc. But it is the transformation of our mind. And again, I quote, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Unquote. That is found according to the Adamic Race History and Holy Book, Romans 12 verse 2, and that was from the New International Version. There is so much that I could unpack, and there is so much that I would like to unpack from just this one very profound verse of scriptures as it pertains to health and healing, as it pertains to healthy living, and as it pertains to abundant life. Our individual, communal, national, and universal health, healing, and abundant life. But time will not permit me here to do so. But I must still draw your attention to what I think are the three most important words here. The first of these three words is the word conform. And the second is the word transform or transformed. And the third is the word renew or renewing. The word conform. Now I ask that if you haven't listened, let me pause here. I ask that if you haven't listened to all previous episodes in consecutive order, that you please do so. And in the last episode, you'll remember me stating that I don't know the language. It is not my language. I don't really take pleasure in using it. And my best attempt at knowing it or interpreting the messages and the meanings and whatever that is encoded in their language, in the English language, is by using their dictionary. So now you'll understand why I am using the dictionary for the definition of their words, so that you can understand and understand my perspective. So again, the word conform, according to one quick Google search English dictionary, is defined as, and I quote, to comply with rules, standards, or laws. Let me repeat that. Conform, by meaning and definition, is comply or to comply with rules, standards, and laws. Unquote. And according to the online Cambridge English Dictionary, the word conform is also defined as, and again I quote, to behave according to a group's usual standards and expectations, or to operate according to a rule, unquote. So what then is this formula for healing, healthy living, and abundant life that clearly and emphatically states, do not conform to the pattern of this world? What is this telling us? From my perspective, it is hereby telling us that something is terribly and morally wrong with the pattern of this world. And that the pattern of the world has and is making us sick, has made us sick, and it is currently making us sick. The word transformed, from my perspective, simply means to be healed or to be healed. The word renew or renewing, according to Merriam-Webster's dictionary online, is defined as, and I quote, to make like new, restore to freshness, vigor, or perfection, unquote. From my perspective, insight and literal interpretation of all this is that we, the natural, native, earthly humans, do have within us, do have within our minds, and at our disposal, the power and the ability to heal our physical bodies of all illnesses, of all diseases. And please note that I did not say heal some illnesses or some diseases. But you heard right. I said all diseases. But in order for us to do that, we must first resist and refuse to comply with the pattern of the world. We must not bow. We shouldn't and we mustn't bow. The two very important questions that all of us that are thinking with guarded and independent minds here will ask and are asking are these. Number one, what is meant by pattern? Or what is a pattern? And two, what is the pattern, or what are some of the patterns of this world that we should not and that we must not conform to or comply with, especially if our intentions are to live a life of health and abundance? A pattern, by the meaning and definition according to the etymology dictionary online, again I quote, an outline, a plan, a model, an original proposed for imitation, unquote. Again, I ask that you verify that for yourself. Now, from my mystic philosopher's perspective, it is evil, and the god of evil, commonly called Satan, or commonly known as Satan the devil, along with his or her or its hand-picked, mind-picked, brain-picked, and race-picked group of humankind, or more correctly, kind of human, aka the evil elites and their evil technocratic governments, aka the evil mind controllers, the administrators of their master and god, the Satan, the devil's pattern that rule and govern this world as we think we know it. It is Satan the devil, Satan the antithesis of good, the antithesis of righteousness, morality, and justice that runs things here, or that run things here. Meaning it is Satan's pattern, aka Satan's outline, Satan's plan, Satan's model, Satan's original proposed for imitation doctrines, ideologies, and philosophies that run things, and that is running things here and now. And that is why there is so much illnesses. That is why there is so much diseases. And only those of us, the natural, native, earthly humans that are blind, that only those of us, the natural, native, earthly humans that are blinded by his or her or its evil craft, those that are asleep under his or her or its evil spell, that do not know this or will not even believe, let alone accept this. That is, I consider to be in our face fact. And according to the Adamic race history and holy book, aka the Christian Holy Bible, again I quote, Satan, who is the God of this world, Satan is the God of the world, like evil run things here. Unquote, and that is found in 2 Corinthians. You can verify these things from the Adamic race history and book, 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 4. And I just read from one translation called the New Living Translation. Again, I quote, the devil led him up. I'm just trying to prove to you or show you that this evil, that demons and devils rule and run things here, control things here, and it is done through invasion and other means. I will tell you that another time. And again, I quote, as part of my proof, the devil led him up to a high place and showed him meaning Jesus or Yahushua, and showed him in an instant all the kingdoms of the world. And he said to him, Satan said to Yeshua or Jesus, I will give you all their authority and splendor. It has been given to me, and I can give it to anyone I want to. If you worship me, it will be yours, unquote. And that is again from the Adamic race history and holy book, Luke 4, and I read from verse 5 to verse 7, the International Version. So this is telling us, and from my perspective, if you want, or if you desire authority and splendor in this world, in this current age, aka if you want or desire fame, material wealth, lots of money, power, you name it, in this world, especially at this time, right? Who do we have to apply to? Or who do you, not me, do have to apply to? And whose regiment you or we must conform to or comply with? You don't have to become a rocket scientist to answer this question. So now you know. But we'll talk more about that later. Stay tuned. As Satan run things here, as Satan people run things here, as evil control is planet as it is now. And again I quote, the devil led him up into the high place and showed him in an instant all the kingdoms of the world. Now, from my perspective, kingdoms here also mean all the governments and so-called leaders of the world. All, not some, all. And Satan, the devil, is the head of them all. From over 2,000 odd years ago, the ancients and the thinkers and the mystics realized that then, and the authors of these scriptures that are now handed down and translated to us, they realized that our ancestors know that Satan run things, invade and run things here. So Satan the devil is the head of them all. Satan is the head of all governments, bar none. And they all belong to him. See, it's in your book, and I happen to share that perspective. And they all are in his are in subjection and compliance to him, Satan the devil. All, bar none. They all worship Satan the devil, directly and indirectly, consciously and unconsciously. If this scriptures is at all correct, then now you know that there is no such thing as a righteous government, let alone a righteous leader in power. And this, the planet Earth, and this our planet and Mother Earth. Read it for yourself and tell me how is that possible? If that is correct. I just happen to believe, I happen to know from my observation and my point of view, from my perspective. Satan runs things here. Again, I will quote the formula for health and for happiness, for health, healthy living. Do not conform, for healing and healthy living. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Again, Romans 12 and verse 2, NIV version. Second, the next thing that we have to do in order to heal our physical bodies of all illnesses, of all diseases, we must renew our mind. Remember in the beginning I told you, those who follow me, that everything begins and ends in the mind. So we must renew our mind. We must make like new. We must restore to freshness, vigor, or perfection our mind. And to renew our mind, let me remind you, we must get rid of bad mind. But again, my dear beloved people, I run out of time for this segment. So please join me in episode 12.2, where and when I will answer and share with you my perspective on the question, and all questions mentioned earlier. What is the pattern, or what are some of the patterns? I'll be expounding or expanding on them more. What is the pattern, or what are some of the patterns of this world that we should not and that we must not conform to or comply with, especially if our intentions are to live a life of health and happiness? I will continue proving these points and also focus a bit on showing and telling you how you may know and how you can know a bad-minded person or a bad-minded person, as we would say in Jamaica, aka a sick person, and how we may heal ourselves from bad mind. Again, I'll ask as customary, and I promise I will be talking about lignans as we continue. I think I have enough time, and I will explain all of that. But again, I ask that if at all you can, that you please support this series of a short presentation titled Another Perspective on Healthy Living by simply purchasing your daily supply of lignans. If you are not getting your daily supplies of lignans, which I will explain later, then you will be deficient. Anyhow, so please purchase your daily supply of lignans from, and this lignans is from the Norwegian spruce tree, and it is called Fountain of Life, from yours truly, I the Mystic Philosopher. I'm a distributor for this product. You will do that by clicking on the links provided in the description area below this video. You may also purchase a digital copy of my song playing in the background, the version playing in the background. It is called Have You Heard of the Fountain of Life? You do that by clicking on the link by the same name. Your kind support will be greatly appreciated. I've some more work to do before I get out of here, because every day I live is one day. I know it's one day less I have to go. Sometimes I run out, so I have some more work to do, and with your help I can get it done before I chip. In the meantime and between time, in your becoming, I will that you be more and more, and not less, aka be less. I am the Mystic Philosopher. Ashe, 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 I say.